Hi, welcome to Part of My Frenchie. This is me, 143. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. Let's talk about precious moments. This week, we're going to dive back into the topic of pet loss and grief. A couple different scenarios happened this past week, and I think that they're all very important. I had a situation in my current role at my professional job where it was interesting, and it was a very intimate moment for someone, and I was very, very blessed to be a part of it. Now, people that know me know that I was in the pet loss and grief industry I ran pet loss and grief meetings for 7, 8 years. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I still enjoy talking to people with regards to pet loss and grief and helping them through situations when they occur for them. There is no more intimate of a moment to be with somebody when they are going through something like that, because it is a very lonely time, and it's a precious time to be able to be there for somebody. So, anyways, in my current role, we had one of our employees initially had contacted us and stated that one of her animals, she had to take to the emergency vet. That was the one first call, and she was all upset. Absolutely, take your pet to the vet. Go, hands down, not a problem. The second call came a few days later, and this call was a little bit more distressed. In speaking with her, I remember that feeling. She knew that it was the end of her cat's life. She was scared. It was her first time of going through the passing of her cat. She didn't know whether she was going to have to humanely let her pet go at the vet. But she also didn't know that process either. She was alone. She was scared. She had never gone through anything like that before. She had to work that day. She didn't know what to do. There were so many things going on. And I'm glad that I was the one that had gotten that call. Her cat was older, close to, I think she said 17, 18 years old. It had gone to the emergency vet, and they had sent it home with medicine. So I believe she had a few days or a couple days with it, and then it had taken a turn for the worse. And she, again, was kind of panicked, didn't know what to do. And when we sat on the phone, she was going through all of the emotions of when you're a pet owner, you love something so much and you start questioning. You go through all the processes of questioning. Am I doing the right thing? What do I do? Where do I go? It's scary, and I don't care how old you are. You could be 20 years old. You can be 60 years old. If you've never gone through that process, it's scary. You don't know how the euthanasia process is going to go until you've actually gone through it. So that whole unknown, and knowing that you're the one that is going to be signing the papers to something that you have loved and taken care of for so many years is scary and gut-wrenching. And to have nobody else there to walk you through that or help you through that or talk you through that is hard. So I was glad that I got that call, because not only as a supervisor and say, yes, of course, go, you can, have the day off or whatever. I was able to help her, walk her through, and tell her not to be afraid. Tell her that she's going to be okay, that, if she needs somebody, we'll be there, if, to say, okay, this is the process, this is what they're going to do, this is, it's when you've gone through it many times like I have, to have somebody that's there that understands what you're about to go through is huge. So as I sat on the phone with her, kind of walking through some things, we hung up, and a couple hours later, she had contacted me and said that her cat had passed prior to getting to the vet. And I thought to myself, how great. Her cat passed on her terms. Another precious moment. So her cat's name was Precious. She had gone on her own terms, which was a precious moment. She had that time that she had owned the cat, which was a precious moment. She was there when the cat left this world as a precious moment. So even in death, you can have good moments. So what I ended up doing was I ended up sending flowers to her through Instacart. And the Instacart driver had drove the flowers to her house. And on the cart, I had put sorry for your loss and so forth. Well, the Instacart driver ended up being a minister. And he, talked to her and so forth, because she answered the door and was in tears and so forth. But another precious moment out of the blue. So you have all of these people coming together, and some people like to say, oh, it's just an animal. Oh, no, it's a life. And it's a life that meant something to somebody. One of the things that she had brought up too, which is huge in pet loss grief meetings, especially the first time that people lose animals, they go through this kind of, I don't want to say embarrassment, but the world has not quite caught on yet to the significance of pet loss. So yes, there's pet people, there's non-pet people, but still, like, we don't give it the attention that it should. So some people, she had kind of made a comment of, yeah, I was crying and I don't want to, people to think, oh, it was just a cat. Well, no, it was more than just a cat to you, and she knows that, and I know that because, I love my animals more than anything. And, everybody else that loves animals knows that as well. So, but to people that don't, they're kind of like, so it's all about having empathy. And if you are going through a loss, knowing that it's okay to grieve, it's okay to outwardly grieve for as long as you need. It doesn't matter what other people think. And I guarantee that there's 10 other people next to you that have gone through the same thing. Heck, 2 days ago, I was standing talking to somebody, a gentleman, and we had just started chatting up, and he had brought up a loss of his 2 dogs that were last month, and he started tearing up. This big, burly biker guy started tearing up about his dogs, and so we were talking about the losses and the process of grief, and it's hard. Pet loss is hard, and saying goodbye to your loved ones, it's very hard, but it's also precious. It's a precious moment if you are able to be there with them when they take their last breath. And that's why I told the employee that I was talking to, when I was kind of going through some of my situations with mine, I said, you know, loving animals is very, very rewarding. It's very, very rewarding. It's one of the most favorite things that I love. I love coming home to them. I love taking care of them. I love everything about all of my dogs. And saying goodbye to them is one of the hardest, heartbreaking things that there is. But being there as they leave this world is a moment that I would never want to not be there for. I could never not be there for the last moments. Just as I picked them up and when I first got them, I want to be there when they leave this world. Every moment that we have with them should be a precious moment. So in honor of my coworker's cat, Precious, who is a very fitting name for everything that correlated that day, it was a precious moment for her ending, the way that she decided to leave this world on her own. And it was a blessing for me to be able to share that experience with my coworker. And it was an honor for me to be able to have that experience and be able to talk to her about it. It was just a great time to be able to share knowledge, and hopefully she can heal quicker or go through her grieving process smoothly, because that's what it's all about. So until next time, if you don't have a friend, you have one now. Hit the like and subscribe button. Tell all your friends. See you next week. Bye-bye.